opposed to it, and Mr. Speaker, it is majority. Carry your own cross. We've washed our hands on them. This is all we've done. Tell them that everything at the airport hills, Mr. Speaker, I'm cleaning. Mr. Speaker, and I'm cleaning. I am cleaning my hands to tell them that we are not part of the sins that he has committed. All the airport hill sins are on their head.
Members, it's obvious. Honorable Samuel Nate George is hereby approved by the majority of this House.
Odi minister just 4 years. The truth of the matter is that you won't call for politics more or university when you juma da.
Just say very, very crass, uncouth language, uncivilized language. How many of those people got appointments in Mohammed's government? It's a clear message that President Mahama sent, you know, on your bia or did you may the highest level you can attain, and it's a you will not get appointment into President Mahama's government. That is the message that he's sending. For the rest of your life. Contract ya wa jama.
Abusiafo yenko parliament ye enyasem ketwa. Enkofo a eye John Dramani Mahama ensusuye mu anase ne nyansem ohunu so betimi ne omo aye adwuma. Ode omo converting ani etoto omo no ne ade. Sese ya ye kase ya approve mo na ewo parliament ya. MPP for a omo eye parliament minority for no ekire se omo de omo ahoro mo nsa e de afiri ho a nioma ekoso ene vetting na ekoso omo hunu se enye nipa ni nyina ene omo no omo agidie wo mu so metimi ayesa adwumadie a edaso yi na enkofo ben ya approve omo yenko ne yenkohwe eye nkrata ye gu screen yisu yi enipa ya approve omo se ya ye kase a omo ni John Dramani Mahama, the president of the Republic of Ghana, ene be ye adwuma no omo din ene didi so yi. Honorable Abdul Rashid Hassan Pelpio ni din one minister you know our labor minister for labor, jobs and employment ono ya approve no ana afi so honorable Ibrahim Muntala Muhammad ono so ya approve no minister for environment and as a minister of environment, science and technology ono so ya approve no honorable Samuel Nate George so ya minister for communication and digital technology and innovations ono so ya approve no ana afi so honorable Kyei-Duah Adams ono so minister of sports and recreation ono so ya approve no ana honorable Joseph Bukari and so ya approve no ewo parliament ya enye asem ketwa. Now ye be parliament ni akohwe ade kropotia ekoso wo parliament time wa na approvers no ekoso no captain smart abeche na adwene de afa ho sanso ene ye afia pokua vim lady enso ache na adwene e de afa ho na edie ne si ye dia NPP for no minority no omo se omo de omo yi omo nsa e de afima ohoro omo nsa e de hye nkofo se masa ye de yi nsa afirim de besie bia no eyemo ana mo de mo nsa akwahye ase no yenko parliament ne yenko hwe enioma ekoso tama aye owura Afenyo o status wo bonkomo yentie mo ekoso parliament.
It's only 2 nominees that went through what I call proper vetting. Honorable Kwabna Minta Akando and our respected friend and brother Sami Okujeto Ablakwa, who is to assume the foreign ministry portfolio. That is if we even complete. Mr. Speaker, he has called for a second vetting. That is student days politics, energy is still in him. So he's even calling for second vetting. Mr. Speaker, they took advantage of that situation to push all 9 nominees through. Do you call this vetting? And then you come back to make an application that the president must constitute his cabinet. Mr. Speaker, I am opposed to this application, and if Mr. Speaker is not minded by the good arguments made and still want to grant his application, which in my view is very lame. It's very lame. Mr. Speaker, it's entirely in your hands.
Thank you very much. I've granted the waiver because I know the minority leader himself is desirous to have the waiver granted. So, honourable members, the motion has been moved and has been seconded. This is procedural, and the question is all those in favor of the motion listed 2 in the other paper addendum say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now, let's move to motion 3.
Right, Honourable Speaker, because we are everyday learning, I want to place on record that once the motion is moved and seconded, you can oppose it. Right, Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that this Honourable House adopts the 11th report of the Appointment Committee on His Excellency the President's nomination for appointment as Minister. And Right, Honourable Speaker, in doing so, I present the 11th report of the Appointment Committee on His Excellency the President's nomination for appointment as ministers. The following people. Right, Honourable Speaker, first on the list is Honourable Kobna Minta Akando as Minister Designate for Health, Honourable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa as Minister Designate for Foreign Affairs, Honourable Seidu Isifu as Minister of State Designate for Climate Change and Sustainability, Mrs. Charity Gardner as Minister Designate for Ahafo Region, Mr. Salisu B. Awurbe Isifu as Minister Designate for Savannah Region, Mr. Wilbert Petty Brentum as Minister Designate for Western North Region, Mr. Joseph Nelson as Minister Designate for Western Region, Mr. Joseph Adai Akwaboah as Minister Designate for Bono Region, Mr. Francis Owusu Entry as Minister Designate for Bono East Region, Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofosu as Minister of State Designate for Government Communications, Mr. Edumwa Ekopeni Ochre as Minister Designate for Central Region, Mr. Poison Charles Luwanga as Minister Designate for Upper West Region. Mr. Speaker, I will urge the Hansa Department to capture the entire report, 103 pages report as having been read. Mr. Speaker, I proceed to read the conclusion of the committee. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Article 78(1) of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and Standing Order 217, the committee considered the nominations submitted by His Excellency the President. After thorough deliberations, the committee finds the nominees competent, knowledgeable, and well-suited for their respective ministerial roles. The committee therefore recommends to the House by consensus the adoption of its report and the approval of the nomination of Honorable Kobna Minta Akando as Minister for Health, Mr. Samuel Okujeto, Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa as Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Seidu Isifu as Minister of State, Climate Change and Sustainability, Mrs. Charity Gardner as Minister for Ahafo Region, Mr. Salisu B. Awurbe Isifu as Minister for Savannah Region, Mr. Wilbert Petty Brentum as Minister for Western North Region, Mr. Joseph Nelson as Minister for Western Region, Mr. Joseph Adai Akoboah as Minister for Bono Region, Mr. Francis Owusu Entry as Minister for Bono East Region, Honorable Phyllis Kwachi Ofosu as Minister of State responsible for Government Communications, Mr. Edumua Ekopenyi Ochri as Minister for Central Region, and Mr. Poison Charles Luanga as Minister for Upper West Region. Right, Honorable Speaker, I urge the House to similarly adopt the committee's report by consensus. I humbly submit.
Yes, honourable members, the substantive motion has been moved by the chairman of the committee. Yes, the ranking of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise in seconding the motion. In doing so, I would want some observations to be properly captured for Hansard in respect of the reports we have. Mr. Speaker, first on Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando, it is without doubt that the minority, together with the majority, agreed to approve him by consensus, and there is no problem at all on his nominee, on his report and the decision we took. Mr. Speaker, on the second nominee, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, the recommendation on page 31 of the 103 report reads, prior to the votes, the minority recuse themselves. Nonetheless, the committee recommends to the House by consensus the approval of the nomination of Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa as Minister of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Speaker, this would have to be corrected. Our side had a certain understanding of Mr. Speaker's communication. That notwithstanding, we want to presume this to be a regular vetting, though we recuse ourselves at a point. The conclusion here is that the recommendation is by majority decision. Our side is not part of it, and we will take a vote on this matter. Having said so, for the records, Mr. Speaker, on policy, the nominee distinguished himself on the issues regarding the portfolio he is going to occupy. The nominee himself indicated in his CV that he is the chair of the ORA, which committee we have questioned its constitutionality. We are not against any desire of a government to investigate a crime. Not at all. Crime is a crime, and if somebody decides to commit a crime, the laws of the land must deal with the person. But as it is known, if all men find a man's hand in a till, his guilt must be proven. Due process of law is what we've enshrined in our laws. A moment ago, the leader of government business took us through the rule of law when he was commenting on J.B. Dankwa and his contribution to national history. So, Mr. Speaker, we are against his chair of this ORA and the activities in the country. We think, and we hold this whole view firmly, their actions are taking this country back. They must allow due process to take place in our country. As a country, we have used institutions to deal with situations. That is why, apart from the mainstream police service, we enacted a law to establish Yoko. Not only that, we enacted a law to establish Financial Crime Office Center. That is why we set up the Office of the Special Prosecutor. That is why we have the NIB. That is why today you have various divisions at the police service with specialization in different crimes. So, Mr. Speaker, we don't have to appear too populist by encouraging some of these unconstitutional interventions. He proudly said he's a member of that. Mr. Speaker, let me also state he's a chair and a member. Mr. Speaker, I want to state for the records, although some members of this committee have been denying it, we've heard businessmen complaining that this so-called Ora has been going to their houses and their office premises with video cameras, photographs, taking pictures. They have been using drones. Mr. Speaker, I here, as a leader of my side, I have been a victim of it, yet they say that they don't know. Mr. Speaker, the former defense minister, last week, he called upon me, the chief whip, and the clerk to parliament. They chased his vehicle in the name of Ora. Let's be very clear. Certain things that are happening in this country. Can I finish? Honorable colleagues, please, you need to listen. You need to listen. Mr. Speaker, they chased his vehicle all the way to this Parliament House. And when we made inquiries, apparently it was not coming from national security. And those in charge said that they were sent by Ora. Mr. Speaker, national security said these were not their men, but they were using national security vehicle, and when they were interrogated further, they said that they are coming from Ora. Mr. Speaker, we need to be careful which destination we want to drive the vehicle called Ghana to. I am happy that the oral committee is denying. That should tell you that when you set up such a populist body, people take advantage. Two populists, such a populist committee, people take advantage. Scared of what? People take advantage to settle scores. Mr. Speaker, we do not have to wish this for the country. Now,
and you like this? And you like this?
Mr. Speaker, the nominee.
And you like this?
The nominee,
Honorable Collins, he is seconding the motion. So just let's tolerate. Honorable Collins, I know why I'm tolerating.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Collins Dauda is a very experienced member of this House. He is recounting his own experience, but he knows. He calls me Miwafase. Mr. Speaker, he knows that some of us who were in government never supported a thing like this. He knows that for a fact. And Mr. Speaker, senior members of this House know that there are some members of this House who have the conscience of the society we live in and have never supported any actions detrimental to them when they were in opposition. They know. This is not the time to mention names, but they know. Mr. Speaker, if it was bad yesterday, it remains bad today and it will be bad tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, the nominee went further. Mr. Speaker, the nominee went further without being asked. Produced my own documents on my land. He said that in the name of Ora, they had conducted a search. The good news is that in their attempt to find out whether my land in Winneba belonged to the state, they came to a conclusion that it is not a state land. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I had become aware that somebody had petitioned Ora and had said that the police college in Winneba. Mr. Speaker, my members, my colleagues who are shouting, they should know that this became a subject matter of our proceedings. So I am within the ambit of relevance. So please pay attention. Somebody had filed a petition to Ora claiming that my land in Winneba is part of state lands, and the chair of Ora, in coming to his vetting, carried a search report, and in that search report, at least he got to know that where my building is in Winneba is not state land and I've not looted. Mr. Speaker, again, it is important for him as chair and all the members of this Ora to know that, Mr. Speaker, the entire Winneba lands are affected by vested asset through an executive instrument. Mr. Speaker, going further, the nominee, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, if you look at page 30 of the 103 report, I quote, the nominee promised to furnish the committee with the following upon request by the ranking member with the leave of the chairman. There's a list of documents that he promised to furnish us. The nominee has been able to furnish the committee with a documentation only on the Savvy and Volta Clenham companies as at the time of finalizing this report. We just need to put on record that there were 9 documents that he promised to furnish us on his own volition. Mr. Speaker, this we have not received. Mr. Speaker, the only 2 they brought, they are still here. The 2 they brought, his company registration, I have it here. Those 2 company registration documents, these are the only 2 that they brought. No, I have captured. Pay attention. I said, no, nominee has been able to furnish the document with only on Savvy and Volta Clenham companies. These are the only 2 we have received. Mr. Speaker, we believe that he who comes to equity must do equity. Let the record reflect that this side is not pursuing a member of this House. But, Mr. Speaker, the colleague himself publicly says that he is a public-spirited Ghanaian, and he is on record of always pursuing people and finding out their sources of income, especially the political class. Mr. Speaker, if you are holding people's feet to the fire, Mr. Speaker, I will make this point. If you are holding people's feet to the fire, demanding accountability and transparency, it means that you yourself must demonstrate that when subjected to it, you will...
Honourable Member, please.
Mr. Speaker, Our colleague, Honorable Ablakwa, has been taking people on in the public space. He questions people's birth certificates. He questions people's sources of income. He questions people's passports, people's travel. Mr. Speaker, he questions them. If today he lives at airports and provides it on his CV that he lives at the airport and claims that he's a tenant for 8 years, it only stands to reason that he makes available all documents related to the tenancy. We are not pursuing this person. Ablakwa knows that I, Kwame, here will be the last to stand against his political progress. Never. Yes, Mr. Speaker, I will never. Those who know me and know me well know me and what I stand for. I am a politician like you. I will not be the one to be pursuing you. I will not. But to the extent that you do not spare your colleagues, Mr. Speaker, especially during the vetting, I found it very strange that Mr. Ablakwa apparently took the car loan of 2021 because he's on record, both on social media and traditional media, questioning the car loan that MPs take. And he's used the word, it was unconscionable. When I asked the question, he said that 2013, he took the car loan, he used it to buy a Land Cruiser. In the second in the second term, that was 2017, he used that one to buy 2 saloon cars, and then the third one he used that to buy a combine harvester. Mr. Speaker, you and I know that there is no way the clerk to Parliament, upon receiving a letter that a member wants to use his car loan to buy a combine harvester, clerk will not issue a check to a vendor who is selling a combine harvester to a member of Parliament. It is not true, and it can't be possible. He has been pursuing people. He is questioning the integrity of members of Parliament, that it's unconscionable to access car loan. Yet, on all the 3 terms he's been a member of Parliament, he has relied on these facilities. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to say it is hypocritical, but it is also for all of us as a house to realize that we must be measured in the way we pursue each other and one another and others. Today, he is now going into government. I know Mr. Ablakwa as a true gentleman in terms of his dressing. He does, yes, Mr. Speaker, he dresses well. He wears quality things. He wears quality shoe, quality suit, quality tie. He dresses well, and I respect him for that, and he knows. If tomorrow somebody says, colleagues, this is a serious matter. If tomorrow, by mere fact that he's a gentleman, he dresses well, somebody now comes to ask you, how much did you buy your suit? This designer shoe, how much did it cost you? Because, Mr. Speaker, for 8 years, the member says that all he has is his MP salary of 15,000. He says that all he does is his MP work. He has not done other business because the Savvy company, he folded that company up way back in 2015. Mr. Speaker, I am saying this because our colleague has taken a lot of public officers to the cleaners. And this is not personal. This is not personal. He's taken a lot of us to the cleaners. And if you create the impression that you are very holy and very righteous and you are a crusader, yet you don't want to be scrutinized, then there's a problem. So, Mr. Speaker, as a matter of principle, we are opposed to him because of the inconsistencies and the lack of clarity. Mr. Speaker, for the other colleagues, for the other 9 that within 1 hour, within 1 hour, they took advantage of our absence to pass all of them. All we can say is that majority, go and sin no more. Go and sin no more. The congratulations bye-bye group. Mr. Speaker, there is a group of 9. Congratulations bye-bye, I wish you well. Mr. Speaker, they even add, bye-bye, take care of yourself. And for them, Mr. Speaker, we will raise a procedural issue at the right time. But we will not stand in their way today because we have no problem with them. We believe that these regional ministers must take office. We can't allow vacuum at the various regional ministries, regional coordinating councils, and even on our colleague Ablakwa, who we are opposed to him. We believe that because that foreign ministry is a very serious, important ministry and organ of state, we will take a decision on him tonight. And let me, without equivocation, state that we will proceed with the same abstinence. We abstain from his decision. It is solely a majority's call. All the sins of Ablakwa are upon their head. Get me water. I need water. Mr. Speaker, this one, I need proper water. This is not a dry washing, just some small water. Yes, Mr. Speaker, this one, we are washing our hands. We are washing our hands to tell them that every sin at the airport hills, Mr. Speaker, I'm cleaning. Mr. Speaker, and I'm cleaning. I am cleaning my hands to tell them that we are not part of the sins that he has committed. All the airport hill sins are on their head. If tomorrow he and his aura start pursuing you, it is on your head. But if he repents and comes back to this house, we will accept him and make him a wa too. Mr. Speaker, we rest our case.
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, as indicated in the report of the committee, the 88 members of the 88 members of the minority reject the nomination of Honorable Samuel Nefe George. We remain opposed to the decision for his nomination to be approved by this House by consensus. We rely on our earlier grounds of opposition without more. We therefore leave this matter entirely in the hands and on the heads of the majority in this house. It is their cross to carry. We, the NPP Minority Caucus of 88, and let the record reflect that we have stepped down our opposition in view of the calls by respected members of this house. We are therefore not going to pursue any longer the secret ballot, but rather to abstain. This is out of deference to members of this house who have reached out in utmost respect, and we want to demonstrate that good faith for the records by saying that in view of the representations made, we would rather opt to abstain from the vote so that it becomes your sole decision for Hansard. We are therefore opposed to it, and Mr. Speaker, it is majority, majority, majority. Carry your own cross. We wash our hands on them. This is all we've done. Take it.
Honourable members. Honourable members. Honourable members. Now that the minority as a group has abstained, I will go ahead to put the question. After putting the question, I will also ask for those who are against. Then I'll go ahead and ask for those who are abstaining, so that the records will capture as the minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, our work is to assist you. Mr. Speaker, I am on my feet led by precedents. Once I, as a leader of our side, in my submissions, have indicated that the entire 88 are abstaining. That
honourable members, please let's allow. Oh.
Don't worry. If Mr. Speaker, we have had this before in this chamber. We are abstaining the entire 88. Let the record reflect as such. And we want Hansard to so capture that it is entirely the decision of the majority. We had nothing to do with it. So, Mr. Speaker, this issue of back and forth, we are not part of it. And let it put the question to them and let them take it, and then you record it as the majority took their decision. That's all.
Mr. Speaker, I think it is clear that the minority has no intention to participate in the vote. So you put the question and then let us vote. If after we have voted, nobody objects and calls for head count or anything of that sort, then the decision is taken. It's a majority decision. The report already says that it's a majority decision. And the minority, whether they are 28 in the chamber or they are 88 in the chamber, I withdraw. 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 I take it back. I withdraw. So, Mr. Speaker, just put the question. Just put the question.
Honorable members, the question is, all those in favor that Honorable Samuel Nate George is approved by majority, say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, it's obvious. Honorable Samuel Nate George is hereby approved by the majority of this House.
Ti sɛ uhunu sɛ ɛyɛ owura Afenyo ɛne NPP for ahoro mo nsa sɛ ɛyɛ dwumadie no ɔmo yi ɔmo nsa afiri ho ɛyɛ majority for na ɛyɛ ɔmo adeɛ ɔmo nka ho a ɛne na deɛ kɔfa baeɛ no ana mabɔ ɛde akyɛ bia wo anya time anhwɛ full video ni nyinaa nti wei ɛyɛ kakra ɛkɔ so ana mayi akyɛ na adeɛ si wie no ana afei so ɛyɛ journalist ɛwɔ Ghana Vim lady Captain Smart so no presenter ana presenter Captain Smart enso ebeche na adwene e de fa ho a wo kire se se dem se U10 na captain amiki no ano woten wo kire se obia me declare ne asset no wote se vetting na koso ne nsamo ankofo na keke ka no ohuni se no amanfo mebiri nya adwuma omo ba politics omo nya adwuma da e na omatima ye se japade we die captain star ye U10 e no waso ye se omo so
se me ne mareta ko gina court beyere oja ware me yesi ye pemeja pade a yetime list me de tintin ne yaka chen say Fatantra Hills ko fasre so ko duase basiko Cape Coast ko mankasim ko sinchem ko sunyane ne ya list ne ya je ma oba no ba Ghana politician de yesi na japade a owo no Ghana fo mu nche niye kwakubicham yesi ontro on type it no fanshare envelope na ontaria no din no fan koma auditor general say auditor general nsaka oni tumi so bebia no mani bia no da le wo men bia no auditor general ye mistake na so bia no pa wato Ghana mra it is a mareta ni JB every minister na yesi on declare ni asseta e wo mareta team say meto abanya sa ase wo cantonment na wa tro wo say I have a property at cantonment so property say ye dan say ya asase you don't know no ma tro no property at cantonment it means say politicians no to say me am asorpani former national organizer of the MPP, former director of operations at the Jubilee House. Look me. On the minister, no one can just only declare the asset. the Japan on the minister. The workers on declared answer, but I got 150 houses. How? How? Yay! Yasu, Yentariano, Membiano. It is a mayor politician. The mayor in an say, number 1, have a property at Achimota. Number 2, property at Dansoman. Number 3, property Cape Coast. Number 5, filling station. Number 6, no more listen tin no matariano. It is a onya bedi minister new year. And no bedi to me wa be we are not dimirika. E say opekwan bia so enya asase wada eye filling station. Opekwan bia so enya asase Cape Coast no your property. Opekwan bia so onya asase o Mankasim no your property. Opekwan bia so this is what they do. Bibi dina he me wadan wo tantra me wadan wo duase me wadan wo sreso me si dan wo Mankasim. So ma ka kire. And you do baby as say your politicians no when we open declaration of assets some no as you twam and a ho me ni eye Afenyo Markin si ya dwen say na so kuja to declare the assets in public. Also politicians this rule because umusuro no kure. Yes to say many okwan no and okure no and enkwa. Politician be so be declare the assets of public. Send now to the president. Was it then we say go? Was it 2 cantonment? Plus the papa here is he and aha, Alamwa. But when I walk cantonment to say go, ya kohoda. Ma kohoda. Moi, you people are aware. You are aware. President in the most market say. Yes, so see a back no crash Ghana politician. The piano mu kum ye mu prayer. Let me tell you, it's the question the same. Ye no ma bay. E bi mu omu a o meye kwana pass. We know. Who told you we don't know? We know. And to me, it's not no. Na me ne Dr. Bambon komo.
So original na so ya.
Me pesa me ma wo ti ase say. Ye do baby as say. Barretta ye minister of lands and natural resources only declaring assets in public. Don't share any house numbers. Dr. Ban or the Deputy Minister of Health on declaring assets on share Japadia or one na ukuma. You do baby as obedi MP kura car kura now once obedi MP no yamagana for who Debbie
the MPP NDC for Lusu election first one. Brahma was no. Unam Kumasi, yes, a filling station where you could get to there. Filling station where you could get to there. Filling station where you are Sima Sidia. No, I will lose you who say you're not correct. And the Asama walk as a much church or Monja, but they have a more
declare assets in my uncle. Maybe to a mini filling station. And he said, me did minister and fear 9. Did Deputy Minister and fear 9. Number of filling stations in me and sa trouble war. Yanko bank couldn't call her baby and me G loan. And yes, gas station no. We must find out. But the young sir, it's a nipa bako or the minister just 4 years. The truth of the matter is that you won't call for politics more or you university when you juma da.
Abusia ele da ho no is be a captain. Em say appointment ni say nyanka between the hair enche obesan start so Jesse Mahama so pa enche kura. So mo ampa appointment ni bia mano a obe start the job pa wadi ni nkomo ono so no kura wo eno wadi atudwa no. Afia poku ya vim lady yes sister yi so edi nkomo e wo time one oye the program e wo eye okay afidie no so online program ano oye no. Yentie nsemu a afia poku ya so o kan ye e fa Mahama John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. ne nkɔfo a waji wo mo so lo mba ye adwuma no yentie nsɛm a afia pokuya ɔso kan
ministers cap no or the tone no so no affecting nkɔfo bebree because even the founder of NDC Jerry Rollins neba Zeneto kra wenya bi neba Zeneto wenya position. This is serious. Yeah, was say can ho asem da achi bia but so far omo wenya position now the obo hu say the caliber of people that have been selected. You see, the founder of NDC, how did the moja sign NDC manifesto? How not Progressive Alliance, neba as a neto. And for that matter, neba bakopa ono no wenya kukudro say I will do politics and take over my father's legacy. Zeneto brought the men now be in one mouth, didn't want to politics. Zeneto pe openly or say oh yeah politics as from name. I MP. And then you said one-time MP. She said two-time or I think three-time, two-time MP, two-time medical doctor when your appointment. Swear, my mama go show was swerving go you go for Suliyama. Wamani bio Zeneto kra nyebi. E lesson my party supporters no mu didi atem de bia no. Munyina mo nyebio. When you was school na dey sports no. Ye show school team and I first your house no. Blue house, green house, near there no. Yes, we shall score you. We shall put pepper in your into food soldier man. Mudi attempt throughout the election season. I'm almost at him the appointment. So Suliana Mahama Yimono. Mahama is sending a message to all of you. Say the qualification. Any idea, Juma. And yet him did it. And so of course, where did you attempt? Over to you, Jolate. For the next 4 years, they did the attempt on your position. Because there were qualification. What him did it. Would you attend online, on air, everywhere, baby, social media, you will not get the appointment. That's the message that Mahama is sending. Omo would you attend now? Look at Mahama selection squad. Omo would you attend no? Why the any woman? Bedi Maya, the Maho, and Mamma, just say very, very crass, uncouth language, uncivilized language. Nay, the attempt. How many of those people got appointments in Mahama's government? It's a clear message that President Mahama sent, you know, on your bia or did you may the highest level you can attain, and it's a would obey the attempt. You will not get appointment into President Mahama's government. That is the message that he's sending. The obey for the rest of your life. Contract ya wa jama one it's a would obey the attempt. Mahama will not appoint you. He will neither put you on a board. He will not put you on, he will not give you a ministerial appointment, even a deputy ministerial appointment, presidential staffer appointment. President Mahama will not give you that appointment. He will not even consider you because Omo Bali Nina, I said your graphic kind, you know. And for CV, go President Mahama. So, what is your CV? What will be also the qualification or the way we are saying in say or CV, PhD, master's or degree in Atemdidieda? Now, it doesn't work that way. Now I'm catching and say I'm the opposition campaign Jumano and yeah one the managing governance so it's completely different. It's completely different. Nimdiano idea campaign and that is why you must to borrow a speaker, right honorable speaker Bambabe word you must transmogrify yourself. Say yeah campaign now your campaign Libya. I won't say yeah campaign or school because the true vets yeah. Qualification here, the waiting committee name. Look at from Kyei-Duah Ablakwa to Sam George to energy minister to Dr. Approv. How many people have come empty-handed? No, they've all gone there with positions. Watch them here. Qualifications say Maternal Parliament. My Juma on select committee way. I have knowledge. So which is Akando. Akando now is health minister. You see, my President Mahama is sending a very clear message that he will only use qualified people in his government because 4 years now, even if any say yes, a constitution, the President Mahama Benya 8 years. His aim is to leave a legacy. His name is to leave a legacy. And yes, who believe the attempt. So you can't be a minister when you're insulting people. Even I'm posting controversial comments. I'm do vetting committee. Also, the elderly. Well, I say I don't have cover NDC, MPP, majority and minority clash in Nakobano. Because we can't send now himself the opposition exuberance. Opposition vim now they can afford do appointment committee near question what so but again on President Mahama nomination here they have me say omo qualified when NDC baby be brother just be way busa something with na caucus of NDC yamin campaign you buy NDC win we yamin ya kwachi gold or airport oh yamin oh position by ya chen bi ya money be The President Mahama first government, na yami wo position or deputy minister's post, and yami yenyebi, yamoni bi, what we need wo baby no, they don't call up, they don't call up. Project Demfi, NBC wo position, one of the hard working guys, NBC caucus no sue NPP for or there and the project.
Them say, and if you book so etu ija, it's a visa for my bonnet of fan earlier mammo at the crop of course of parliament. NPP for Munsa. Any a year captains Martins wadwen kyerɛ afia poku adom kyerɛ omo a yɛde a year kratas se boom omo ne yayi omo so omo bɛyɛ adwuma no omo so anima bobo bi e de akyerɛ wi no de besi bia no yɛbɛsan so de aba afidie wi aso and no first da bitima subscribe to channel we for more videos aya kai so the comment be comment section omo amahama atwusu omo so no mo bo adwuma yi wadwen kyerɛ mu no wo so wo de no wo hu ne sɛn captain de a wo kan no wo hu ne sɛn sanso na MPP ohoro mo nsa no and also uhuni say